an interview series on the culture of peace, conversations with leaders of change, inaugural segment by Ambassador Anwarul K. Chowdhury. Following the 25th anniversary of the UN Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace in 2024, SGI launched the Culture of Peace interview series to help build new momentum in the coming decades. This series features leaders of change from the United Nations officials, experts, scholars to advocates, in particular from amongst women and the young people, at national, regional, and global levels. Our aim is to raise awareness and bring attention to the power each one of us has to foster the culture of peace through our daily actions. We believe that this in turn will help the United Nations effectively carry out its work for a more powerful, just, and sustainable world. Ambassador Anwarul K. Chowdhury is former Under-Secretary General and High Representative of the United Nations and founder of the Global Movement for the Culture of Peace. He served as a permanent representative of Bangladesh to the United Nations from 1996 to 2001, in which capacity he chaired the 9-month-long negotiations resulting in the consensus as mandated by the UN General Assembly, and introducer of the agreed text of that document on behalf of all member states for adoption by the Assembly on the 13th of September 1999. This is the third of 3 episodes called Looking Towards the Future: Obstacles and Opportunities for the Culture of Peace. Last year we celebrated the 25th anniversary, and so the resolution's been in existence for 25 years, and there's probably been various challenges in between, but within this UN system, because you had just talked about civil society being the key, really, within the UN system with this resolution, what's been the challenge? And
well, this is a challenge which is faced by not only our resolution on culture of peace, but many other resolutions. So that as UN resolutions are not mandatory, it is recommendatory. It is said that you are free to do as you decide. Member states join in the consensus. That is the beauty of the UN resolutions. Most of them are by consensus. Very few are voted upon because of the national positions. So you agree, you have a global agreement, and then you can go and implement according to your priority. So that is what has happened. The culture of peace, as I told, that member states are not interested in the context of the politics of the day. Because after all, elections, formation of the governments, party system, democracy, everything is dependent on the electoral arrangements in each country. So that is why electoral arrangements are also motivated by electoral politics. And electoral politics is that we have to go and get more votes. So in a democracy, it's very difficult to ensure that you get the civil society. So that's why I say, when the common people will start saying, yes, but we are not having culture of peace in your policy statement. Would you agree on the... So sometimes sustainable development goal became a national agenda in some cases, but culture of peace is never a national agenda. So that is why even a country like Costa Rica, who is the biggest champion of peace, peace initiatives, but they didn't do much about the culture of peace. But they one good thing is that they will not object. They are supportive in many ways. So there are few countries for whom peace or culture of peace is a national objective. That they believe that our multilateral policy includes culture of peace. And that way, I should say that Latin American region is the biggest supporter of culture of peace. They have, in their inter-American context, they have been supportive of culture of peace. And also at the same time, 1325 resolution. So, but the Africans are more homogeneous, more united, and I think they should do something about culture of peace. They have done a lot on 1325. They have a special envoy for 1325 in the African Union, so which was later on replicated in the European Union and in some countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand. They have special envoy or ambassador for women, peace and security agenda. So, but anyway, that is also a part of culture of peace, because equality between women and men is one of the 8 areas of action. So there is a mutuality, so that way we can take, because this year, 2025, is the year for the 25th anniversary of 1325. Yes. So that's why in this year's, in March, the 69th session of the Commission on Status of Women, a number of events were organized for 1325 special anniversary, but more will come through Security Council in the month of October. So that's what we have to see how best that can be organized, and we have to see that. And I wish that the women heads of state or government who will come to New York in September, I think they can get together to observe that. That will be a big encouragement for civil society and for member states. That women leaders have said that, you know, in 2011, 3 women got Nobel Peace Prize. 2 from Liberia, 1 from Yemen. And that resolution or that decision of the Norwegian Nobel Committee mentioned 1325 individually. It is the only Nobel Peace citation which mentioned a UN resolution so specifically. So others, UN has been mentioned, peacekeeping has been mentioned, refugees have been mentioned, but not with a number of Security Council resolution. So that's a big satisfaction for us, that it is also a part of the culture of peace. Because culture of peace would have mentioned 1325 if it was after the 1325, but it was not. So it was adopted in September 1999, and 1325 was adopted in October 2000. So that is why this is the reality. I believe that member states need to understand that promoting culture of peace, encouraging civil society, common people to get involved in it, has a positive benefit. Maybe a little bit longer term, but still it has. I continue to say that the culture of peace is not a quick fix. It is. It takes time. It is not a revolution. It is a movement. So that's why we need to be careful about it. that we should not expect something happening right now. So it will take, but energizing or encouraging, I would be happy if the leaders of the world, when they come to General Assembly, speak about culture of peace or the value of the culture of peace. That is why, again, would be a wonderful thing. So let's see how it happens. It goes. We have celebrated rather the quarter century of the culture of peace, but we have a long way to go. A long way to go, but you sort of get the fruits of your labor or advocacy as you move ahead. So you get co-travelers joining you slowly and slowly. So at one point of time, I think there will be a critical mass of global population and in each country an advocate for culture of peace. And I think if NGOs prepare a coalition in each country, or the NGOs here also, Global Movement is trying that in a way because it has 18 NGOs as a part of it. So that is the, again, thing. But sometimes it's a self-defeating situation or self-incriminating situation that it does not give you immediate result. So that's why many people say, oh, it's a long-term thing. They don't want to go into it. But I think there are well-meaning people, well-meaning individuals all over the world who believe in it and contribute in their own way. And for younger generation, like to my students, I said that convince yourself first that if you are a peaceful, non-violent person, once you do that, then they would ask me, how can I promote culture of peace? I said, first promote it to yourself. And then when that transformation comes, then you promote it to somebody who trusts you, who respects you, who believes in you, and is ready to listen to your advice. So I say, you can do it to your siblings, you can do it to your parents, do it to your friends. Tell them that I have learned and I find this very peaceful to believe in the culture of peace. So why not try? So I say that if each one of us can transfer our feeling for culture of peace to another person, just one more, we have added exponentially, and that person will transmit it to another one. So this way we have a sort of geometric progression in the number of people who believe in culture of peace. So these are painstaking things, easier for me to say, but not so easy to do. But I think the way we have, what we have achieved during the last 25 years is not bad. It's not bad, and I think the global things like Mayors for Peace or Olympics movement or even Catholic Church are believing in these things. And of course we have in Soka Gakkai International, we have big support for the culture of peace. And I am very proud that in 2020 we, with the president of the SGI, President Daisaku Ikeda, and myself wrote a co-authored book called Creating the Culture of Peace. So, and the subtitle of that is a clarion call for the individual and collective transformation. So that is in the title of that book, we have told what needs to be done. We have to energize people for individual and collective. Individual transformation will become collective slowly and slowly. So that is what we say, that this individually, if I am able to get rid of the hatred and prejudice and discrimination that I have inside me is gone, and then I will be able to transmit that feeling to another person. If I find two of them are antagonistic to each other, I can tell them the value. So that way we will go into the collective part of the culture of peace, from individual to global, and also individual and global. So we do two ways. One is individual transformation to a global transformation. And then we also do culture of peace individually and globally. So we talk about the high level forum, we talk about Olympics movement and things like that. But those are global things or universal things. But global nothing can be worse than this. And this is the UN has lost all credibility. It is the biggest champion of women's equality and right, but it has not been able to invoke that in their own organization by electing a woman Secretary General. So that is what is necessary. So that is what I believe that for culture of peace also. Not only peace, sustainable peace, peacekeeping, peacemaking, everything, peace building. Women have a major role to play, and that is what is. And prioritization, of course, the Secretary General he has the tool. It's like I say sometimes that it is like a person needs a car to go to work. And he has a car, but he is not able to go to work because he does not know driving. So this is like Secretary General needs peace globally, but he doesn't open this booklet. If he doesn't, or if his speechwriter doesn't, if its senior management does not, then the tool is useless. And the General Assembly has given you the tool. It is accepted by all countries. So you can invoke it much better than any other thing. Except Charter, no other document has spoken about peace in so extensive way as this document. So that is why Secretary Generals should use it in more way. And then finally, I say that the future of culture of peace also is closely connected with cities and communities. I find the mayors of various cities are much more interested, particularly women mayor. I have seen that in 2023 in Hiroshima, that this is what they can do. They are so interested in culture of peace. So this is, I believe that the communities can decide how we give an opportunity to our children, how we maintain our civic services, how we manage our schools and our communities. So that is a wonderful opportunity for cities. We have the Ashland Commission for Culture of Peace. This is Ashland, a city in Oregon of America, and they have worked with the mayor's office to put that. And that can be an sort of template for many mayor's offices. So this is the community level. I find that instead of going for national level, communities are more receptive to your idea because they are involved in the well-being of their people in a small area, but still a city, because they are elected representative. And many mayors are showing, and Mayors for Peace, by putting culture of peace as one of their 3 mission statement, is a very, very significant thing that they have decided to promote in their cities. And when I went to Hiroshima, there were about 80 mayors from various other countries, including 300 mayors from Japan. They came in. But all those who came forward to talk to me about the culture of peace were women mayors. They said, oh, this is what I wish we could do. So that encouraged me, that you see, that proved our assertion that women brings a different perspective, different culture into their work. So that's why we need to attend to that. That's why women are needed in leading the world to a peaceful direction. So that is what I believe is important. So that those are the 4 areas I believe: children and young people, women, prioritization by the United Nations, and 4th is cities and communities. Those are the future areas of work for the for a culture of peace.
Thank you. That is your vision for the next 25 years.
Yes, vision, and then also I want activists in the civil society also. So they will take lead in doing things, arranging events, and there is an organization called Global Peace Education Network. And I am the president of the advisory council of that. And coincidentally, my dear friend and co-activist and global leader for peace and culture of peace, Federico Mayor, was the first president of the advisory council in 2022. Then he passed away this year last October. Then they asked me this year to become the president. I am following him. But it is difficult to be in his footsteps, but still I am encouraged by his efforts. And also I believe that it is important that they are promoting the peace education for the children. So that is why I think it is necessary for us to and the high-level forum focused on the seeds of the culture of peace with the children, focusing on the early childhood development as the sowing the seeds of the culture of peace. So these things are happened, and I think sooner we have school curriculum, or at least the teachers interested in it. So you remember in 2004 we had the exhibition on the culture of peace, and the Sokagaka International and my office at the UN, the Office of the High Representative, we put together in the delegates' entrance lobby not delegates, general entrance lobby. So it ran for 4 weeks. And so SGI was one of the co-sponsors, and my office, and 5 member states from 5 regions of the world. So they came and there the Betty Williams inaugurated that, a Nobel Peace Laureate. But many teachers came to that event, encouraged by some of the schools in New York City. And I remember Monty Joffe was the person who encouraged them to come in, and a charter school principal. And then there, I think we invited the teachers to send their young kids to see the exhibition. And the interesting thing is that young kids were very young, maybe 6, 7, 8 year old. So they were brought as a field trip to see the exhibition by the teachers. But they didn't understand, because it is in English and all these things, how to explain to them. So some students, senior students, volunteered to become their guide. So they will say this is, in simple English, what it means, what is to be done, and how it affects them as an individual. So they were, and then 25 of them from various parts of the world, even from Palestine, there were students. And we honored them as peace ambassadors later on. And we went to an event at their school. Hero was there, myself, and Monty Joffe organized in his own school to that. So these are the things that we can really benefit from. But I would encourage SGI to take the lead in a way that they can. The global movement of culture of peace somehow is in sort of finding new directions. So that's why. But in our own context, whenever we have an opportunity to bring the young children into an opportunity to know what is culture of peace in a very simple way, that we should not give up. We should always try to tell. And even, I say, even within the context of our own families, we can say, do you know what the culture of peace? And I do it. I think it has an impact, because for my grandchildren, I have always said, there is no color coding like blue for girls or pink for girls and blue for boys. No color distinction. They are equal. And no toy guns are given on their birthdays. So it is, nobody can. If you are bringing a gun to give them, you are uninvited. You cannot come in. Your gift is not accepted. And then word sort of letter blocks. I told them how to spell peace with the letter blocks. So these are simple things, and they will wonder why grandpa is saying this. Maybe they will, when they have a little bit of sense, they will start exploring this. Or this will have a presence in their mind that a grandpa told me to do this. So these are the simple ways we can contribute in our daily life about children. And so that is, and once they get it, and I think it really stays with them. I'm touched. I'm very impressed by my grandchildren, because they are really good boys and girls. And more girls than boys. I have 5 grandchildren, only one of them is a boy, and 4 of them are girls. So I'm proud of that, and And also, I think when all of them get together, they have no sense of difference or discrimination. No, discrimination is a strong word, but difference. So that's what. So that is what I believe that we can all do in a simple family way. And once we sow the seeds, I think it stays on forever.
I just wanted to make the connection. I can't help but make the connection. This year, when we held the event during the Commission on the Status of Women, we were trying to make the link and remind people that culture of peace is actually in our, in the Beijing platform for action, and it is now 30 years old. And so, I mean, that is already, I think, trying to kind of uplift and spotlight that, since this is what the women's and movement is trying to uphold, that this is the most comprehensive blueprint that we have for gender equality, and within it, it's very clearly stated there's a whole section on culture of peace, and so we are trying within, even just among NGOs, but more so with member states and in the UN, saying it's right here, and not only that, we have a resolution, a GA resolution, which is a roadmap on how we do this, and so I think even that type of advocacy within the UN is going to be, will amplify that even more.
Yeah, I think this is a big connection that we have, an opportunity. Beijing inspired us for 1325. Beijing inspires us for the culture of peace. And in Beijing, the civil society group also adopted a special statement on culture of peace and role of women. So I believe that maybe we should sort of shake the member states who do not see any connection between Beijing platform and culture of peace. We should organize something to say Beijing platform and its implementation and the culture of peace. So how the two mutually help each other. So that can be done either before the commission session or during the commission session. Yeah, that will be wonderful, because sometimes commission is not broadening its opportunity, because yes, Beijing is there, but 1325 is also there. So that because beauty of 1325 is that it is a Security Council resolution. UN Charter in Article 25 says that all member states should accept, comply, and implement the decisions of the Security Council. Clearly, General Assembly resolutions have no sort of backup like that in the Charter. So that's why, though it is a 15-member body, and though I would like more, if the veto power is not abolished, they should add more members with veto powers, so that we can have a global balance. Now, Africa has no country with a veto power in the Security Council. We have one Asia only, China. And China is, yes, though they say that a part of G77 and China, but still China is in a bigger league. They are becoming second, third economy in the world. So and power-wise also, one of the biggest military budgets. So that is why I think your thought about Commission on Status of Women, Beijing platform, and culture of peace is a wonderful thing. And 1325 is also part of this culture of peace agenda because it is one of the 8 areas of action. So there is a reality, and I think more we talk about it is better for us. And for both 1325 obviously, but culture of peace, if it has to move forward, women have to play a big role, because their perspective is different, their expectation of the how we work as a society is different. So that is what we need. So all the best to your idea, and let's see what we can do.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Ambassador Chowdhury, for spending this very precious time with us. Thank you for listening to the Culture of Peace interview series. Please be sure to watch the other episodes if you haven't already.